This is how much flowers I got from the market. I'll tell you how much it costs and how I'm going to style it around the house for Deepavali. Whenever I need a large amount of flowers, I go to the KR market, which is the main flower market for Bangalore. In fact, even when I need very little flowers, I go to the market because when I buy from a local florist, for a small bunch, what it costs me, I get like a bucket full of flowers here. I usually spend about 700 to 800 rupees at the market and get a whole bunch of flowers. But since it was festival, I thought let me get a little more. So this bunch, I've got quite a bit of flowers extra. First, I got these beautiful bunch of roses in yellow and pink. And for this 20 pack, I paid 80 rupees each. So this bunch cost me 80 rupees. The yellow was beautiful in color, but I think the yellow roses had some issues because um, out of all the roses, the pink ones really lasted long. So here is the pink one. This bunch also cost me about 80 rupees. So two bunches of yellow roses and two bunches of pink roses, total 80 roses, cost me about 320 rupees. If I had to buy them in retail, a single rose is about 20 rupees. So these four bunches would have cost me 1600. Then I got these chrysanthemum bunches in three different colors. The white was slightly expensive, it was 80 rupees a bunch, but beautiful nonetheless. Usually, the white colored flowers tend to be a little expensive because they are neutral and most people prefer to have white flowers, so they cost a little extra. So, any kind of flower, including white roses, the red ones are also a little expensive. So, the white bunches here cost me 80 rupees each, and the colored, the maroon, and the pink ones cost me about 70 each. I love these flowers because they last me at least a week to 10 days. I got these palm leaves, which I did not end up using, but they cost me about 50 rupees for a bunch of 10. And I got two lotus buds. These were 20 rupees each, so two of them cost me 40. I got two bunches of country white roses. These are not similar to the ones used in bouquets. These are more, the shapes are all big and small, and they're actually wide variety of roses. These, for a bunch of 20, cost me 50 rupees each. So a bunch of two cost me about 100. Then I got these green sticks. This was a steal deal, it cost me 100, but this had about 80 sticks in them. One other green that I got was this eucalyptus sticks. This bunch, I think, has about 10 sticks in them and cost me about 150 rupees. These can get really expensive during wedding seasons and seasons where people are decorating with, these bouquet kind of flowers. But that was pretty reasonable now. Then I got oriental lily buds. This was the most expensive flower that I picked up. A bouquet of 10 cost me 400, which to me is reasonable compared to if I had to buy it in retail. Every stick will cost me about 150, a single stick of the lily. So total I spent about a 1500 rupees, which is double of what I usually do, but I was pretty happy with. The next part is usually where I collect all the vases in one place. And please don't ask me why I have 5 different brass teapots, because I don't know. This time I felt that I had few vases compared to last time because I have been gifting flowers in vases. So gifting flowers with vases ensures that the receiver does not have to do anything other than find a place for it, and it makes room for me to buy newer vases. Since it's festival, I decided to shine the brass vases, and I have some really sweet brass things that are vintage, which when I have a lot of flowers, I use them as vases, and when they are kept together, they look really, really pretty. Like this one, I'm sure, I think it's called a kindi, and then I have this small brass pot. You'll see when I host flowers in them, they look really, really adorable. This is another thing that I bought from a temple store many years ago. It's that kalash that goes right on top of the gopuram of the temple. I got them in two sizes and somehow kept side by side. They look really pretty. When I have a lot of things to clean and it's brass, I go with the trusted Pitambari. I know it makes my hand really rough and dry after everything is washed, but then it also gets the job done quickly. And while I was wondering, I have more vases, I spotted one of my brass vases right on top there with some dried flowers. Oh, come on. I'm working with a new camera and I'm still learning. So there it is. It's actually a brass spittoon. I remember my grandmother had a smaller version of that. And this shelf was actually styled with the theme of elephants during Navratri, and I haven't taken off the elephants yet. Here it is, the brass spittoon. I'm sure somebody who owned it probably either ate a lot of pan or was too lazy to clean out his spittoon. That's how you do it. Yeah, and probably cleaned it once during the day or during the night. This is an enamelware spittoon. These were vessels that were probably imported from Czechoslovakia between World War I and II. Before I start getting the flowers, the first step is to fill a little bit of water in these. So what I usually do is I don't add any sugar, plant, flower food or anything like that. I add very little water at the bottom, just so that all the tips of the bottom of the flowers touch the water. And then every second, third day, I top it up a little bit. That way the water has nutrients and the flowers get nutrients and they last longer. Working with roses, you have to be really careful. These thorns are really sharp and can pierce deep into your skin. The plan was to fill the larger vases first and then whatever is left over, fill the smaller vases then. The country roses last about a week if you really take care of them. And these are usually not put in bouquets because they're just so wild looking, but I find them really beautiful. I was thinking of keeping the leaves, the top leaves at least, then I started to feel that it looks too shabby, so I took them all off. So basically there is a plan, but there is no plan, and all plans can change because I moved the flowers from the big spittoon to this milk jar, and here is another little arrangement. I wanted to put this video at least 2 to 3 days before, but I had a sore throat and a bad stuffed nose, and I simply could not do the voiceover on it. Here's another little arrangement. And think about it, these 3 little flower vases, the flowers cost about 100 or 110 including the greens. With the chrysanthemums, I love to put the whole bunch into a large vase because they make the most impact that way. So one trick I use to see how much I need to cut, I bring the vase to the edge of the table and then hold it, and then I know how much I need to cut because then I can assess how much above the vase I need the flowers. So this is how much I need to cut. And when I need to cut so much flower, what I really do is I take a big sharp knife and use a chopping board and chop it off. It's so much more easier than uh, straining your fingers with, a scissor. And there you go. In 5 minutes, one vase is ready. The pink with the blue looks really beautiful. Next, I'm going to do the same with the red chrysanthemums. Going to drop it into the brass spittoon using the same technique again to measure, and going to cut it in the kitchen with the knife. And here it is. One more vase ready. Just stopping here to admire how beautiful this work table looks. So far I've used up 4 bunches of flowers, and this is how much flower waste is generated. I think we have a composting facility within uh, our community, and we also have a very lovely housekeeping staff that doesn't complain and does their work happily. This work actually took an entire day for me because one, I had a bad cold and I was moving into a viral phase, and it was really tiring. I probably should have been resting, but a few years ago, I remember I had multiple projects that I was managing through Diwali, and I had a home that I had to hand over. And that year, I was so tired and so fatigued that I did not do anything for myself or my home. And it was just plain. I maybe put out a couple of lamps. I'm not too sure, but I remember the regret of not doing anything for Diwali for myself. And from that year onwards, that entire year until the next Diwali, I was so guilty of not doing something for myself for a grand festival that means so much to me. So after that year, I decided that I will take time off and do what I want to, or do something special for myself and my home every single year. Last year, I hand painted the entire master bedroom. I don't know if you've watched that video. Um, that turned out beautiful. I was so happy with it. Here I'm working with a blue hand blown glass vase, and if I had put colored flowers in them, it would have been too much. So I'm adding white chrysanthemums to it. This vase is actually in my studio and I can see it as I'm recording, and the flowers are going still strong. It's been a week now. I don't throw away the chrysanthemum buds and the small flowers that fall off from the side, because this is where the smaller vases come into picture. So since I have a large pot and there are red flowers in it, I'm going to put the small flowers in the small pot. So here are all those small little buds and flowers that otherwise would have got discarded, which will go in the small pot now. So one rule of maximalism is, if you have two similar things, then, like for example, if you have two similar vases, then ensure that you have two similar, the same flowers going in both of them, so that when you put them together, it's not two, it's one. Also, if there's somebody still watching, the Home Styling 2.0 online course is already published. It's a pre-recorded course that you can buy and watch immediately. I have given 10 powerful techniques for you to learn, and there are demo videos so that you can style your home just like the way I do. The link is in the description. You can buy it, and you also have lifetime access, which means you can log in at any time and watch the videos. I found the cutest pink rosebud and have to show it to you. Just look at how beautiful it is. And here I have another arrangement ready. Look at how cute this looks. The plastic mug is actually for Nazar. Here is my Turkish pot ready with white chrysanthemums. Now you see a lot of stem sticking out, which may not look good, but a little trick will make it look so much more nicer. Just turn them around and ensure that the bushier part is in the front. And then I love the fact that the lid is opened and that pointy edge is showing. So yeah, small little things make a lot of difference. Once all of these arrangements are ready, they will go into their respective places, and I will show you the final result on the Diwali night. About 15 years ago, I started to add a few brass lamps every year, half a dozen here and a dozen there, and I created this collection of brass lamps. Ever since, I don't have to buy new lamps every year. I just reuse them, and they look happy and festive. Are you ready for how it looks with the lamps and the flowers? I created small little arrangements of flowers, lamps, and beautiful decor that I already had. I hope you enjoy the visuals, and if you have any questions, please uh, let me know in the comments. This idol is actually the Vishwarupa Darshan that Krishna showed to Arjuna. This set also has an Arjuna together, but he was just too much with this setting, so I have put him inside. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one.